really. Yeah, everybody, I just posted the link for the YouTube stream in the chat window. Okay, it's 7 o'clock, so I think we are going to start the Organese Symphony's first ever live streamed recital. And because it is our first ever attempt at doing this, please, I hope that you will be a forgiving audience in case we run into any kind of technical difficulties. But we've done a couple technical run-throughs, and I think we might just have it. Yeah, we have a really fantastic program today featuring members of the Organese Symphony String Orchestra. Everybody is going to perform a piece that is relatively short in length. There are multiple pieces, and that'll be paired with Q&A section, so you can get to know the players a little bit better. So first up is Lisa Robertson. So I'm gonna pull this in the gallery view at the moment. Oh, and I guess before we start, too, I want to say thank you to 104.3 KCUW. They are currently broadcasting this over the terrestrial airwaves. We are very thankful and flattered that they offered to broadcast the this after or this evening's performance on the Confederated Tribes of the Umatilla Indian Reservation and nearby. And I'm currently broadcasting from within the bounds of the reservation, and I know a couple of our members, they are also broadcasting from the traditional homelands of the Confederated Tribes. So we thank you for letting us be your guests this evening. So anyway, so Lisa Robertson, are you with us?
Hi, yes I am. Can you see me and hear me?
Yeah, I can see you and I can hear you. You're little dark, you're little backlit since it's
Yeah,
summer and
it's a little early in the evening for this to work out. So,
well, that's all right. We're like I mentioned in my preamble. We're working the kinks out with this first
right,
run through.
right.
Um, but yeah, so Lisa, you're our the Oregon East Symphony's concert master. That's
Hmm.
correct.
That's right.
How long have you been the concert master?
Oh, let's see. 10 years? 12 years? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'd have to sit down and figure that out. You should have asked me that question ahead of time.
Yeah. I should have gave you a list of questions
Right.
beforehand. I'm just kind of firing them on the fly right now.
Yeah. And
Um,
I started, just to give you a frame of reference, I started when Ken Woods took over the direction. I started
okay.
with him. So, however far back that is.
Yeah. Long enough for you to not not remember off the top of your head.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's right.
Um, well, I guess we'll get into some more questions after your performance. But what do you have prepared for
Well,
everybody this evening?
I'm playing two tango etudes, they're called, by Astor Piazzolla. They're written for solo flute or solo violin. I'll be playing a slow one first and then a fast one. Piazzolla was an Argentinian composer who played in Argentinian type combos growing up and then studied composition with Nadia Boulanger in Paris. And she told him, he had a wonderful vein going there and he should keep working in that direction. And he took her advice and has written lots of tangos. I imagine lots of you by now, lately his music's become pretty famous. So I imagine some of you have heard some of his work before. So, two tango etudes. The first one is called Lento Meditativo, so very um, slow and very expressive, sort of not having a consistent rhythm. And then the second one is more what we think of for tangos.
Bravo. Bravo,
Oh,
Lisa.
thank you. Thank you.
So,
So, can if I stand back here then for the Q&A, can you hear me okay?
yeah, yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Okay.
Where are you broadcasting from today? I should have started off with that question.
Ah, okay. Well, from Enterprise, Wallowa County. So,
Okay.
where we
How long
live.
have you been living in Wallowa County for?
Well, let's see. I came out here, I think, in about 1995. So we were um, then sort of based in Central Oregon for about 8 years, from 2008 to 2016, and that's when I taught more in Pendleton. And I was had an apartment there. Some of you may have seen more of me at that point. And then we came back here in 2016.
And so the Oregon East Symphony isn't your only concertmaster gig. You've played with plenty of other symphony orchestras, both in the past and present. And so what are your other concertmaster engagements that you have?
Well, I'm currently also concertmaster in the Walla Walla Symphony. Um, I play in, when things aren't canceled, and I also play in the Siletz Bay Festival and in Lincoln City in the summers, but that I'm not concertmaster there. Um, and before I came to Oregon, I worked in Europe for a long time, played in orchestras there, mostly in Mainz, Germany. I was there for 12 years. Again, not concertmaster, but so I know what it's like to be in the middle of the pack too, or even the back. Right.
Well, yeah, you got to pay your dues first, I suppose, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Just like any other musical genre, you gotta work your way to the top.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, aside from practicing the Piazzolla pieces, which were fantastic, what
Thank you.
how else have you been occupying your time during quarantine?
Well, yeah, everybody, all of you guys know this story that we decided to spend the time painting and renovating our 103-year-old house. So we we don't lack for things to do. We've been really busy actually since it started. It's been kind of hard to find practice time, and especially keeping my joints fluid and not getting sore from scraping paint off window panes and that sort of stuff. So anyway, we finished this room already, so we're real proud of this one, the way it looks. But if and I've also been getting more interested in historical performance practice. I have several friends who've really been involved in Baroque violin and done a lot of that over the years, and so I'm kind of in the process. I have a copy of a Baroque bow, and so I'm also in the process. I just got some unwrapped gut strings that I'm going to put on another violin, and I have a friend in Switzerland, and we're trying to get some duos going online through whatever process we can do. She just sent me a video today, and I'm going to have to learn how to put those two together. But I haven't got the strings on yet. It's kind of a process with the unwrapped strings. You have to learn how to tie knots at the end, and anyway, so the violin has to be reset up a little bit, and I haven't done that yet. If I could, is there time to say just a little word about the Piazzolla?
Yeah, yeah, sure. I think we got a few minutes.
Because I think it's interesting. He has some real interesting techniques in there, particularly in the slow movement. Piazzolla was a bandoneon player, or a bandoneon is like is a concertina, like a concertina, a button concertina, and so there, to play certain notes, you have to use the same finger. So you have to take that finger off the button to move it to another button, which is what he's trying to communicate in this spots. These spots, the is because you'd have to on the play on the bandoneon, you'd have to move your finger each time. So that's why he's very clear about that. All breath marks in between all those. There's just zillions of breath marks, particularly in the slow movement. And I think that's, and then also there, the run in there, and then this. I can't have to look at it again. Remember exactly how it starts. This thing, I think is also, to me it sounds like a bandoneon. I think there are lots of effects in that are trying trying to kind of put across that sound even on the violin or the flute. So yeah, I just wanted to point those out.
Hmm. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, it's kind of treating transcribing a bandoneon part for the violin and all of its
Right. Mm-hmm.
peculiar idiosyncrasies. Um, cool. Well, thank you so much, Lisa. That
You're
was fantastic,
welcome.
and we'll keep moving along here. We'll go to Viette Block, who is our assistant concert master. So let me just spotlight her video because apparently
Okay.
I was kind of hogging up some of the spotlight during Lisa's performance. How's it going there, Viette?
Hi, JD. Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, happy to have you join us. Well, where are you broadcasting from today?
I am broadcasting from Pendleton, Oregon.
Okay. And what piece do you have for us today?
So I will be performing Fantasia number 1 by Telemann. He was a contemporary of Bach. And I would like to dedicate my performance today in memory of all the people we have lost, whether that be from COVID or people who have been unjustly murdered, like George Floyd, and anyone else who has experienced much loss or any kind of suffering. So this
Thank you.
Fantasia is in 4 short movements or sections, and I will introduce as we go along. And I have the original Italian that was written from Telemann, and I have also written subtitles for each movement, the story that I imagine in my playlist. So to start off, Largo, hope and longing for a better world, every tear wiped away, every injustice paid for, and everything made just. next two movements are entitled Allegro, life's joy, followed by Grave, life's laments. Si replica the Allegro. Triumph. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overpowered it.
Bravo, bravo.
Thank you.
Um, so, how long have you been with the Orkney Symphony, Viet?
I have been with the Organized Symphony, I want to say roughly 5 years. I might be wrong, but just about 5 years.
Okay, but you're only a recent addition to Pendleton. You haven't been living in Pendleton for 5 years, right?
That's right. This is my second year here in Pendleton.
Oh, okay. So what's your favorite thing about living in Pendleton so far? Because you came from Portland, so it's a vastly different environment. You know, we always like to talk about the divide between urban and rural and eastern and western Oregon. So what do you like best about being out here?
Well, I think most importantly, what drew me to Pendleton was how supportive the community is with music and music education. It's also a great place to live. There's more space in Portland, and it was nice to have more space, and the cost of living is very nice as well. And it's
Amen to that.
beautiful scenery. I love that anywhere I drive, 5 minutes, I can be somewhere gorgeous.
You know, well, amen to that. Um, so you also perform in a couple other symphony orchestras around the region. Who else do you play with?
I this past season I was substituted with the Yakima Symphony Orchestra in Washington and the Boise Philharmonic in Idaho.
Okay. And then you also teach in some of the Orkney Symphony's education programs.
That's right. So I am a first year violin teacher for the fourth and fifth grade symphony string program, as well as a coach for the OES Youth Orchestra and the Raising the Bar program. And I also have private students.
I see. Do you have any vacancies right now in your studio?
I do. So if you're interested, please give me a call.
All right. We got to do plugs here. um, awesome. I guess I'll keep things moving here since we're at 7:30. But thank you so much, Viet, and we will see more from your camera here later on with Zach Banks.
Thanks for
So
having me.
yeah, thank you. Big round of applause. And up next, we have a section violist with the Orkney Symphony, Aurora Torres. So I'm just going to spotlight her video now. And ask her to start the video. There she is. How's it going, Aurora?
Good, how are you?
Great. Sorry, would you mind moving a little closer to the microphone when you're speaking here? It's just a little quiet.
How's that?
Maybe even a little bit more up on it.
I'm gonna do this because my microphone's actually up here, so
Oh, okay.
a little better.
um, yeah, I'm wondering if maybe we should just turn up the gain on your microphone a little bit.
Okay. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, let's give it a little bit more.
A little more?
Yeah.
How's that?
I think it's a little bit of improvement. Anyway, yeah. So, Aurora Torres, you've been a section violist with the Orkney Symphony for how long?
Um, on and off since I was in high school. And then when I went to college, I took a few years off while I finished my bachelor's, and then I think my senior year I started traveling back to play with you guys, and I've been playing with you guys at least once a season ever since.
Okay, so when you say you were playing with us in high school, that means you grew up here in Pendleton.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, were you born here or just raised here or what? Where?
I wasn't born here. I was born in Mexico actually, but I was raised in Pendleton. My family still is there actually. Shout out to my mom and dad and Daniela.
All right. And then I guess where are you broadcasting from?
I am broadcasting from Boise, Idaho, where I'm
Okay.
currently living.
Okay. And what are the other ensembles that you play with over there?
I play with the Boise Baroque, or yes, the Boise Baroque Orchestra, excuse me, the Boise Philharmonic, and also the Opera Orchestra. So we have an opera company here in town, and
they employ a reduced orchestra to play for the production. So I play in that. I'm the principal in that.
I see. Cool. Well, and what piece do you have prepared for us today?
So I actually have two pieces. I am going to be starting with a piece that was just recently composed. It was composed last year, actually, by a friend of mine. His name is Alan Skirvin, and the name of the piece is Sanguine Serenade. And I'm going to follow that with the second movement, excuse me, from the Druzhinen's Sonata for Solo Viola. So that piece was written maybe like 1965, I believe. So more 20th century than contemporary.
All right. Cool. Well, I guess we'll just let you take it away. Uh, I'm, I might ask you to turn up your microphone after this performance. I think it's still a little quiet, but we'll just roll with it. It is what it is.
Well, can I try like a note?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I think we can work with that.
I'll
Go
go
ahead.
with
Bravo.
So the next one is going to be the second movement from Theodore Drzhinen's Sonata for Solo Viola.
Bravo, Aurora.
Thank you.
I'm gonna in the Zoom chat. I'm gonna show my give you an applause reaction. Um, cool. So, could you tell us a little bit more about the first piece that you played
Yeah.
by your friend?
Yeah, so my friend Alan Scriven is a composer. I believe he's going to be a senior at Boise State this year. He's both a violist and a viola composition major, I believe. So he really knows how to write for viola. And this piece it's really interesting because he was actually able to ask Kenji Bunch, who is another well-known contemporary violist, to premiere his piece. And Kenji Bunch did. It was he and his wife who premiered this piece in Portland. Um, Originally, this piece was written with piano accompaniment, but when Alan played it in one of our studio classes and he played it unaccompanied, I fell in love with it so hard, and so I asked him if he would write me an edition that was solo viola.
Well, it was yeah, very 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 wonderful arrangement. It stood the instrument stood well by itself. So, cool. So, what do you like to do for fun in Idaho?
There are a lot of trails. Boise is nestled right up along the Boise National Forest in the mountains. So we have a lot of foothills that we go out to this time of year. We like to go out to the river and fish. Usually we can float the river. I'm not sure if that's going to be happening this year because of COVID, but that's another really enjoyable thing. Boise is the cultural center of Idaho. There's a lot of museums, there's a lot of shops, a lot of different kinds of restaurants. We have Ethiopian food, we have Chinese food, Mexican food, Italian food, German food. So just about any kind of, if you like food, Boise has everything to offer food-wise.
Well, I don't think there's anybody who doesn't like food. So, take note, foodies, if make Boise your next destination if you haven't been there yet. All right. Well, thank you for joining us, and I'm going to cut over to Dawn and Annie Harkey Power, our next performers. Let me change the spotlight here. Hi there, Dawn and Annie. I think we just need you to unmute your mic.
Hello, can you hear us?
Howdy, howdy.
Yes, I can hear you.
Excellent. You must stand back so we can see you.
Oh, can they? Oh, they can see
There we
the
go.
whole thing.
Yeah. How are you doing? Where are you joining us from?
We are in Vancouver, Washington, where
Okay.
we live.
Vancouver, Washington. Okay. And Dawn, you're a violinist, and Annie, you're a cellist. And how long have you been with the Organese Symphony?
We were just talking about that when Lisa was talking about how long she's been concertmaster, and we've been playing with OES for about 12 years. So definitely Lisa has been concertmaster for at least 12 years. Yeah.
Right. Well, we'll get into some more questions, but I guess let's just get into the nitty gritty. What are you going to be performing for us this afternoon?
Yeah, let's do that.
We're going to be playing three different little short pieces by Bela Bartok. Do you want to say something about Bartok?
Why don't you break out your cello and get in a position here? And...
Okay, you were going to talk about Bartok.
Yeah, I'm going to. And I will. Just have a seat. We're going to start out with the Romanian whirling dance. This is a kind of a nice piece because Annie has some Romanian heritage in her, and
yeah, Bartok was Hungarian, and he's spent a lot of time traveling, making recordings of folk musicians, and it's one of the places he spent a lot of time was Romania. So I've always felt really connected to Bartok.
Now, for the audience and all that, and everybody who doesn't know very much about Bartok, he was a musicologist and great composer, and he was one of the first people to take it was a reel-to-reel kind of a device, very, very large, but it was portable, and make recordings of folk music at a time when this had never been done before. So many of the melodies that we're going to play for you today are traditional melodies set in very abstract ways. These were meant to be played by his students for study purposes, but they work as pieces of music in their own right as well.
They were also written for two violins. So you notice that this is not a violin, but there's not an arrangement written for violin and cello, so I take one of the parts and transpose it down an octave.
Right then. of short. So this next one is Prelude and Canon. Not quite yet.
The last piece on the program is called Scherzo.
This one's interesting because of all of its eccentric textures.
On me slapping on the cello and doing all kinds of crazy stuff.
Biting it.
Almost.
Bravo, bravo! There, everybody is sending you their applause across the internet and radio land here in Eastern Oregon.
We are so happy to be with you guys. This is
Yeah,
great.
and we're happy to see you guys. It was such a bummer that we had to cancel, half of our season practically. So this is, this obviously isn't, like the an ideal situation, but this is a nice substitute. I should add here, since we're getting close to the top of the hour, and I don't, maybe KCUW might have to be cutting away for other programming or a station ID, but so if we lose you, I'm sorry, and we're kind of running a little long, but if not, please stick around because we do have more music from Zach Banks. And I do want to say that if you'd like to make a donation to Oregon East Symphony, if you're looking at either the YouTube stream or the well, if you're looking at the YouTube stream, I have posted a link in the chat bar. And if you're watching from the front page of our website, there's also a link, a big donate button right below the YouTube widget. And then also there's a link on our front page to the concert program in case you want to read the biographies of our players and just see a list of the pieces that they performed. So, Don, what have you been doing to occupy your time during quarantine?
Well, Dawn is gonna go get you some of our new friends who have been helping us pass the time. We got some baby chicks. So we've been gardening and taking care of chicks, and we've been teaching on our phones, and we've done so far since the quarantine started 5 live stream quarantine concerts that we live streamed on Facebook and posted the recording on YouTube. So
Hold your eyes.
okay.
She doesn't
Oh,
show.
oh, here we go. Here, so this sweet little girl here is Hildegard, and the other chicken is Clara Schumann. They're both named after composers. So Hildegard actually was a composer from the Middle Ages, who was also a writer and a philosopher. That this lady was amazing. She was like really high up in the Catholic Church and very influential in medieval Europe. So Clara Schumann was a composer as well. I don't know as much about her, but
This chicken personally?
that chicken personally.
This chicken personally
Yeah.
has composed.
But yeah, so our chickens have been really fun for us and helped us kind of keep a lighter mood and have a good time. So yeah, we've been playing a lot and a lot of gardening and chickening.
Yeah, for those of you who aren't watching the video stream, Dom was just balancing Clara on top of his head. So I think next time we do one of these performances, will you please play with one of them perched on you? They might be a little too big by the time we do this again.
Distraction.
Gotta wear a special shirt for that.
Right.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, and you do have a really fantastic shirt on by the way too.
Thank you.
Oh. So what is the name of your duo? So people can find you online.
We are the Wine and Roses duo, and we spell it with the little symbol, the ampersand. So we're a little bit more distinguishable from other posts that have and written out. And it's hard to find us on YouTube unless you put in Wine and Roses. And also our most popular video, whoa, which is Tango Jealousy. So that's a good way to find us. And I just started a Facebook page, Power Studio. That's Violoncello Power Studio, the little @ sign, if you want to find it easily in a search. So that's that we're posting videos of our students for our spring recital this year. So
we love you guys. This was a lot of fun.
Let him leave it.
Oh yeah, well, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, do you have any more questions?
Oh, well, no, I was just going to say that I'll look you guys up on YouTube right now, and I'll post that link, and then I will also post it on our Facebook page, so anybody who's interested can check out more performance videos by the two of you.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we'll kick it on over to Zach Banks, our final performer of the evening. Thank you, Don and Annie.
We'll be more questions later.
Let's see. Hello, Zach.
Hey, how's it going?
All right. Yeah, it's going all right. How are you?
Doing very well and really enjoying the program so far. Congratulations, everybody, on your very fine playing. And it's a lot of fun to make lemonade out of these lemons we've got with this awesome live stream broadcast. So thank you too, JD, for putting it together.
Oh well, thank you for taking part in this kind of crazy idea.
Oh yeah.
So where are you broadcasting from today?
Broadcasting live from Pendleton, Oregon.
Okay. And what piece do you have for us today?
I'm going to be playing movement one of a three movement work called A Suite for Violoncello by Gaspar Casado. He is a Spanish composer of the 20th century. And the first movement is entitled Preludio e Fantasia. Thank you so much for listening, everybody.
Yeah. Bravo, bravo.
Okay.
Um, so, uh, Zach, how long have you been playing with the Organese Symphony?
I believe this is my. I believe I'm going to lean into the mic here since
Oh,
it's a little
yeah,
bit
yeah.
away.
Please do.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a
Make
little
sure
quiet when you speak.
folks out there can hear. Okay. Um, I believe this is my sixth year um, since I started playing with the symphony.
Okay. And and you're not just the principal cellist, but you're also the director of education for the Organese Symphony's youth programming.
That's right. I had the good fortune of catching this job opening right after I graduated from Portland State University, and it seemed like a perfect fit. Um, I love what music education did for me when I was coming up in youth orchestras and stuff like that. So it feels so good to be in a position to be in a position like this. Yeah, director of education. And speaking of which, I'd like to give a huge shout out to all of our students who are involved in our programming, no matter what level you're at. If you're a beginner, after school program, symphony strings, or if you're in raising the bar or the youth orchestra or the Nikiawe strings class, just want to say congratulations for making it through a very tough year. Um, it was tough for everybody, that home stretch from March till now, but I hope you can all now breathe a sigh of relief. You've made it to the end of the year, and I hope you enjoy your summer break. So, congratulations, everybody. Also, a huge congratulations to the class of 2020. Again, yeah, you made it. You graduated in what is probably the most trying year of your education so far. So, job well done. Whether you're from Pendleton High School or Nikiawe Community School, congratulations, everybody.
Yeah, yeah. Congratulations, graduates. It is graduation weekend here in Pendleton
Right.
and the Umatilla Reservation. Um, let's see. And you also are the conductor for another symphony orchestra in the area, the Grand Ronde Valley Symphony Orchestra. Did I get the name right?
Close, yeah, pretty close.
Oh,
It's the Grand Ronde Symphony Orchestra. So
okay.
we are
Drop
over
the
there in the
valley.
Grand Ronde Valley, but yeah. So we're based in LeGrand, Oregon, which is for folks who don't know, it's about an hour east of Pendleton, and say again.
Uh, I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. There was some glitch on our end.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyhow, um, the yeah, I've been in that position for just as long as I've been the director of education here in Pendleton. So I've sort of split my time pretty evenly between the two, and it's a real joy getting to be so musically involved out here in Eastern Oregon. And everybody has been so welcoming and so kind, and really has um, welcomed both Viet and I into what feels like a really big family. So it's no complaints whatsoever.
Great. Well, we're so happy to have you out here, Zach. I mean, you've just been a real both you and Viet, like having you here in the community has been just a real asset to not just the Oregonese Symphony, but just the the wider arts and culture landscape out here.
Thank
Um,
you very much.
so yeah, we really appreciate it. Um, well, is there anything else you want the public to know before I kind of bring things to a close and open up the Zoom conference for a virtual reception?
Um, Not a whole lot. Just a quick little tidbit on the composer. He's a little bit of an obscure composer, not widely known at all. Again, his name is Gaspar Casado. He is Spanish, born in 1897. He was a cellist, and which is why he wrote that kind of showy cello piece. he knew what he was doing with the cello. So he was a child prodigy, and it was really neat. He was born and raised in Barcelona, and he put on a recital when he was 9 years old, and Pablo Casals was in attendance there at that recital. And Pablo Casals was so impressed that he invited Casado to come study with him in Paris, study cello with him. So that Pablo Casals at that time, was the most important figure of cello and even classical music, a hugely important figure. So very neat upbringing musically, and he studied composition with Ravel. Um, so a lot of really neat stuff. He was studying with Casals at the time. Casals revived the Bach cello suites, and so we hear a lot of counterpoint and a lot of Baroque, contrapuntal influence in his music through this cello suite. Again, there's 3 movements in that suite. I only played movement 1. So I would highly recommend anybody who's interested, especially cellists out there, if you're unfamiliar with this work, go dig in and check out some more recordings. But yeah, that's all. Thanks again so much for listening, everyone.
All right. Well, thank you. Well, I'm going to ask all the performers to come back onto the screen, and we'll, I guess, do a final curtain call here before I end the live stream. And for those of you, if you are interested in joining the YouTube, or excuse me, the Zoom virtual reception that we're going to have once we conclude, you can navigate to the chat bar on the YouTube page, and there is a link, and you just click that link, and it'll pop you into the waiting room. I see we already have one person waiting there, Elizabeth Condon. You can mingle with the performers and ask them any questions that you might have about them and their work. So anyway, let me put this on gallery view. And everybody can unmute, I guess.
Woo!
Okay.
Cheers.
All right. Well, cheers. And I guess everybody just, wave goodbye to the the audience out there in internet land. And thank you for joining us for our first ever Meet the Members of the Organese Symphony recital. And come join us for the reception here in a few minutes. All right.
Okay.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Woo woo!
Thanks for